Heidi Larsen, +7. So now it's finally official, the Year of the Dragon, since January 23rd. And it's time to wipe the slates clean and to start over, starting to plan the production and the capacity around the production. Very exciting. According to the Chinese symbolic, the Year of the Dragon means finding each other and staying together. So maybe you could find some very good business relationship this year, and maybe that could be a long-term relation further on. I don't expect you to read the Danish media, but I was in one of the major newspapers this week giving my thoughts on how to success with your China strategy. And I made this kind of like small info box sharing my tips, and I didn't want to let you out, so I wanted to share my tips with you in this video also. And the first tip to have success with your China strategy, and that goes for production, if you're going to establish yourself in China, if you're going to distribute in China, no matter what your China strategy really is, you need to have a good relation to somebody who could help you understand the Chinese market, understand the Chinese consumers, understand the Chinese way of doing business in good Guangxi. And no matter if your China strategy is one or the other, try to build a really strong and trustful relationship with someone that you could that could really help you open a lot of doors in China. So that will be my first tip. My second tip would be to reconsider your name. Because when you're going to sell your products in China, you're going to register your brand name in China. And that is because the local newspaper in Chinese will have to have the opportunity to talk about you in the newspaper. And there's a lot of companies who then try to find a Chinese name which sounds like the English name, but actually it's much more preferred if you could find a name that would kind of describe the value that the consumer would get buying from you or using your product. For example, IKEA, which I think we all know, is called Ichia, which means something in lines of beautiful home. So maybe it could be better for you if you could find something that could kind of describe what kind of value that you would add to the consumer life if they should buy your products. Then there's the logo. In Scandinavia, we have a tendency to kind of put the logo in the neck or somewhere where we don't show it. That's the other way around in China. The bigger, the better, and centered often. The made in Denmark or made in Europe or Scandinavia or whatever, it should not be on the back side, and it should not be very small letters. It should be on the front side, and it should have a central place on the product. Yeah, that was one tip more from me. Then there's the whole thing about placement of your shop, because in China you would think that success generates success. That's why you could go in China and find these streets that sell the same product. And you're like, in Denmark maybe we would kind of have like one shopping center and then another shopping center which had maybe similar brands, but it would be kind of a selection between brands who would complement each other. That's not the way to do it in China. In China you would have the same line of product, and then you would have them placed right next to each other. So don't make the mistake of thinking that you could attract potential clients to the other end of the city. If there's nowhere to buy your product there, then they won't come. You need to be able to locate yourself right next to your biggest competitor, really. And maybe the Chinese saying of success generates success could be true for you as well. Yeah. So, and the last tip I had for this newspaper was about the pricing. Because the pricing is very important when you go into the Chinese market. You can't just take Danish or UK or whatever prices and just transfer them into renminbi. If you want to succeed in China, you need to go and study your competitors. What kind of price level are they in? And expensive is good, more expensive is better. It's kind of like that the price really shows the quality in Chinese consumers' eyes. So don't be afraid to push up the price or to be sure that you're in the right level amongst your competitors as well. So that was some of the tips that I had for this newspaper this week, and all for me now. But you're welcome to look through all the other videos at itspassiondarling.dk, and I will be sure to work on translating my book in near future so that you could read that as well in English. And if you have any comments for this video, you're more than welcome to comment on info@plus7.dk. And until I talk to you again, 再见.